I want to do a little psychological test. Look at this flower and think or maybe feel which group do you think this flower belongs to? A or B? How about if I say this psychological test tell you if you are Eastern-minded or Western-minded? Or even it can tell how Japanese see the things. My first culture shock when I moved to US is that the America and also Europe very individualism and they tend to like categorizing things. It was a little difficult to me adapt. And also I surprised there's a definite line, yes or no, like 100%. There's no middle. But we Japanese don't say yes or no directly because in Japan we don't say no. We say muzukashii, meaning impossible. Or difficult. But if you're a Westerner living in Japan or Korea, I think you thought that opposite. Why Japanese are so humble? Sometimes I think for you it's too humble or a little difficult to communicate even you speak a little Japanese. But because we don't say no. So they need to think. But for the Easterner, we can understand. Some people think it's polite, but I think it's more related to core of our culture that there's no definite line. And it's always hard to explain to people outside of Japan, but I think I can do in this time. So that psychological test I just shared came from this book, The Geology of Thought, from the Richard Nisbett. He has PhD and taught psychology at Yale University, and currently teaches University of Michigan. So according to this book, the answer of the result changed by geology. For example, in the East in this video meaning Japan, Korea, China, and the West in this video meaning UK, Canada, and America. So, a lot of people in the East answered A. More than half of people think the flower belongs to A group. But in the US, more than half of people tend to choose B. I want to give you more tests. Okay, look this guy. Do you think this guy on the center, do you think he's happy? Okay. How about this one? The guy in the middle. Do you think he's happy? So difference between first one and second one is that other people around him. The first one, the other people laughing, no laughing, they're smiling. And the second one is mad. They're not happy. Okay, I don't know what you picked, but that makes me think I'm really Japanese is that first one, yes, he looks happy. But second one, to me, he doesn't look happy actually. But since I'm living in the US, I still understand he look happy as well because he's smiling. But in the East, many people think he's not happy because we constantly compare others or we constantly see others' feeling. So I think the second one, he's smiling, but he won't be happy because he's not surrounded by people who are feeling happy. That's how Eastern think. So we change our opinion sometimes according to other people's expression than the guy in the center. But on the other hand, people in the West tend to think the first one, second one looks same and he is happy person. What do you think, guys? So according to Professor Takahiko Masuda, he's teaching psychology at University of Alberta. He said the Westerners tend to see the subject first and mainly focus the subject. That they don't change their opinion from the other background or something. If subject is smiling, it's smile. And also according to author of this book, it's also related to how we move our eyeballs. For example, like this picture in a tiger. Majority of Westerners focus on a tiger first. And the background in tiger is separate. But according to him, majority of Asians is constantly scanning tiger in the background together. So our eyeball is like always moving, trying to understanding the environment rather than the subject itself. So Westerner focus the subject and Easterner think the relationship. But why this is happening? Why? According to the book, it's rooted in our ancient philosophy. So in the ancient time, in the ancient Greek, people thought universe is empty and the subject and the space are separate things. There's nothing between it. So my mug and the microphone, those are two different independent things. But on the other hand, in the Eastern philosophy, in China, people believe in there's a chi. In Japanese, we call ki, like a aura. You can see like a tai chi and kind of stuff. And the Japanese culture is pretty much that kind of stuff. We care about aura or like something that you don't see, like a vibe or something like that. So Easterners tend to think this and this is actually very related because of this effect this and this effect to this because of aura. As a Japanese, this is pretty understandable because we really care about, it sounds spiritual, but we care about aura. We really care about cause and result, that kind of little spiritual things. So he's explaining this is the root of why we have different ideas, why we see things differently. And of course, some of you are skeptical. I do understand because it's like it depends on person, right? So let's do the next one. Okay, imagine there's a balloon floating, okay? And it's going up little by little. But suddenly, psh, went up. Why? Why suddenly balloon went up a little faster? What do you think? So according to the Pen Kaiping from California University, Berkeley, psychological. So according to him, a lot of American students answered because air comes out from the balloon. Balloon got a hole or something happened to the balloon and went up. So American students think subject has the reason why that happened. But on the other hand, Chinese student thought because of air, the air blew up the balloon. Which one was yours? Me, I think the air. I never thought balloon is the reason why it went up. I think I'm very Eastern-minded according to this method. But if this is true, it's explaining a lot of some cultural gap I experienced. Okay, how about next one? Okay, here's a panda, monkey, and banana. Make one group picking two of them. Now, according to research, majority of Americans pick monkey and panda, making a group because they are all animals. But Asian pick monkey and banana because monkey eat bananas. So thinking of some relationship rather than categorizing it. Isn't it interesting? So according to the author of that book, Westerner is very good at analyzing it. Westerner tend to see subject and subject separated. It's like a yes or no. Okay, now let's go back to the first question. This flower. So if you pick the B, I can explain why people pick A. And I picked A, so I can explain. Because this has like a rounded shape and the leaves, and A has more rounded shape. So like it's more about a vibe or like harmony. Like not specific the reason, it's just harmony. I picked this flower should go to A just because it looks nice vibe, right? Why some people pick B? Because of stem. People pick group B, people think they're separated, meaning different stem. They have the same stem, so it should be belong to B because stem is the root and a core, you know. So if stem is different, it's different. So they tend to analyze each object separately, and I really think this is interesting because I did this test like a first or second year of I'm living in the US. I really didn't understand people who pick B, but now I do understand, and I can say B as well. But of course, it doesn't mean if you pick A, you are Asian. Actually, I did a survey on my Instagram. A lot of people pick A actually. And then just 20% or 10% of people pick B. But interesting is that I got a DM that people who picked B really didn't understand why it's A. And of course, there's no hierarchy like which one is better or not. It's just like different. And I believe we should have like both perspective to understand each other. And of course, people's minds are different. I believe there's a Japanese who pick B. But the point is that the way we see things are very different. And I believe understanding a perspective, even we speak same language, if perspective is different, we might have some argument and we have disagreement. But if we understand the perspective differences, I think we can elevate, we can go next level of conversation, I believe. So, what do you think, guys? And then, do you think this test is accurate or bullshit? Or do you have any other ideas why we have different ideas or like different perspective? Please let me know in the comment. I personally am pretty Asian, actually. Alright, you guys have a great day. Bye. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit like and subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, click on the left for the fun video about Japan and on the right to see more videos. You guys have a great day.